Welcome back, this is CerealSnax, and today I'm looking at Saints Row the Third. As you can probably tell by the title, this is the third in a series of 3 games, although I will state that I have not played the first 2, and I think that is a testament to this third game's success, because it sounds like a lot of people have not played the first 2. And I'm not sure what, I can't say much about the first 2 because I don't know anything about them. I haven't played them, and I haven't even read any reviews about them, so I don't know if they're good, they're bad, or otherwise. But suffice to say, I heard this one was great, so I picked it up on a Steam sale not too long ago. I think it's currently still full price most of the time, so if you're looking for it on the cheap, you're going to have to probably wait, because it just came out, I believe, not too long ago for the PC. I think it was early 2012, and we're just going to take a look at it. There's some really neat things about the game, and I want to show those off. Obviously, a game like this is going to remind you of games like Grand Theft Auto. There's some big differences between the two. One is really just the setting. I mean, Grand Theft Auto has really gone down a serious route with Grand Theft Auto 4 and with San Andreas. And Saints Row the Third is really tongue-in-cheek, over-the-top, crazy action. And in many ways, I wish that the Grand Theft Auto series had gone this route as well. But Saints Row kind of jumped into that style and took over that over-the-top, crazy gun-running style that it has. It's completely crazy and over-the-top, but it also has some other neat features that Grand Theft Auto doesn't have, and I'm wondering if Grand Theft Auto 5 will kind of take a page from their book and their new game. But you can see I'm looking at the character creation, and the character creation is probably the most complicated character creation screen I've seen in a single-player game like this, although there are other ones that compare to it and are close. But you can pick like your strength, your fat percentage, your skinny percentage. So you can see you can do sex, race, build. There's like tattoos you can put on here. You can change their age. Here's the skin colors you can change. I mean, it's amazing. You can do sex appeal, which, of course, I won't describe it exactly. You should be able to figure that out for yourself. Okay, so here's my character more or less done. I'll probably put him in a different outfit, but, you know, I don't have much hair in my head. I've shaved my head, so it made him bald. Put a little bit of stubble because I always forget to shave my face, even though I shave my head religiously. And, of course, you know, the other stuff here. So one thing I didn't show is you can change like every single thing. Like if you go into build, you can actually change like his skull shape from all angles, from the width, the height. You can upload your character to the thing like I was talking about earlier, and you can download other people's characters and all that. I'm not going to do that right now, and that's pretty much it. So I'm going to start the game. Of course, he's not going to go into the game without any clothes on, but he will have a shirt and all that. Now, what I've done is I've actually edited this to show you the intro scene, one of the intro scenes. There's a mini intro scenes, and I will say that the intro is, I'd say, about 30 minutes of playtime, and it's completely on rails. There's no open world adventuring like Grand Theft Auto. I've got the sound a little bit muted here, but as you can see, this plane is flying right towards me, and this woman that I've got in my arms on a parachute, over the top, like I said, and I'm going to blow out the windows of this airplane, and I'm just going to go fly right into the airplane. Whoop, there we go. And out the back again. So pretty epic intro, crazy. This intro really just typifies how the entire game plays out. I got my parachute again. This is where I can start playing again. And this is a pretty cool scene where you are actually falling through the sky, and there's all this junk that fell out of the airplane, and there's bad guys that are free falling towards you. So you're free falling, and you can actually alternate between pointing upwards or looking downwards. And you can see the city down below of Steelport, which is the Saint Row kind of hood. I'm shooting these guys as I fall. But I really just wanted to show this to you because this kind of gives a really good impression of what the game is like. And as you're falling, actually your character comments many times, geez, where did all this stuff come from? Because it's this incredible amount of just junk that fell out of the airplane, and you have to dodge it to catch this girl who is free falling. You can see she's 900 feet away from me right now, but very similar in mechanics. If you've played the Grand Theft Auto games to those games, you can probably already tell right from the start, except much more over the top and much less serious. So let's get this woman, and that is really the intro. I'm going to show you a few other things about this game just so you can get an idea of what it is all about and why it is such a great game. So got her, and I will be right back. Alright, so once you're playing the game, you've got your crib, which is basically your little hideout, and you can see all the junk that's kind of littering the crib. Very detailed. They have a lot of little details. There's grenades up on top of the kitchen cabinet you can see, and TV is playing, and just a lot of weird junk that you can kind of look at. They've done a good job of really just filling the world with interesting items for you to play around with and look at. One thing about the graphics that you'll probably notice is it's not quite as serious either as Grand Theft Auto. It's got a little bit more of a stylistic, almost cartoony look to it. Like it like verges on cell shaded graphics, but not exactly. So here's the map. You've got a GPS similar to other games like this, and the map is very similar to, if you've played any type of these open world shooter action adventure type games, it's very similar in that respect. And so you can run and steal cars and all that sort of thing. Alright, so we're kind of driving around here. What I want to do is I want to drive to a automotive shop. They have automotive shops in this game that allow you to customize any type of car you can possibly imagine. This time I have a pretty nice car, but I spend a lot of time customizing a car that's basically a knockoff of the smart car, which is of course in real life. In the game they call it the Emu, and I tricked it out with a spoiler and some LED lighting on the bottom, made the rims really huge, just made it like a really cool hip car even though it was an Emu. But this car is pretty nice. So I'm going to drive over to this car shop and I'll show you how detailed the car modification center is. Just as complicated as the character creation, which in my mind is a great thing because you can make your car look so incredibly unique. You can change all sorts of different things about it. Let's pull into this thing, and of course, as you can tell, the game is fairly adult themed. The name of the auto shop is Rim Jobs, so keep that in mind. If you're not looking for a game that is adult in nature, this is the wrong game for you. This game is very adult, has a lot of references to adult stuff, a lot of cussing, a lot of anything you can imagine in an adult game. So let's look at so now here's all the different things you can change. You can change the paint color on your car. So I'm going to make it a nice blue color just to give you an example of how this whole system works. You can see I'm going to make it a dark blue. Why not? Pick a dark blue. Now, as you paint your car, you actually get respect. So you can see the respect +2. And I believe what that does is when you have a nicely painted car, and then of course all the things that you can modify in this car add respect, I think it just adds to your accumulation of respect in the game. And respect is really kind of the measure, like your points in more ways than one, and it helps for a number of different things in the game. So I'm just going to paint this car up, and what happens after you're done customizing your vehicle is that you can then save it, and the really nice thing is that you can actually upgrade so that you can call any of your gang members and they will drive that car to you. So you don't have to worry about wrecking the thing and totally destroying it, dumping it in a river, driving off a building, because you will always be able to get that car back later on. So that's a really nice feature. Now it's pretty unrealistic, but it's a lot of fun because and that's really, I think, what's important. You don't want to feel like you can lose these really cool, impressive cars that you've carjacked from people. So okay, so here we are driving in our new stylish hip car, and I'm actually going to drive to another place and I'll show you off some more customization that you can do in this game. If you're totally into customization of your character and your cars and the buildings that you purchase, because you can also purchase buildings in this game, then this is really the game for you, because it does it even more so than Grand Theft Auto. It allows you to do even more than that. Now, let's see. We'll go into this Planet Saints, and that's where you can buy your new clothes. So I will show you the clothes customization, and much like the character creation in the beginning of the game, the clothes customization is just as complicated, just like the car. So I'll show you a few of the outfits you can put on here. You can make them look zany and crazy and all that sort of thing. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. I just wanted to show you what you can do. You can basically get stuff for your head, which is sunglasses and that sort of thing, eyewear, face wear. You can put a bandit mask on if you want. All these different types of glasses. I'm going to show off some hats here too. I think you kind of get the picture of what you can do with character customization, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it because I want to show you some of the gameplay and some of the missions that this game has, so you get an idea of what that's all about and kind of judge for yourself whether this is a game for you. I think it's worth it. Like I said, I think it's a totally great game, so that's why I'm showing it off. So let's take a look at some of the action in the game. Alright, so I'm leaving the clothing store in my new threads, and of course, what happens, but I'm getting attacked by this brute, and this is one of the coolest parts about combat in this game. You can see this brute has got a ton of health. You can see his health bar on top of his head, and I'm just running around shooting him with a machine gun. Of course, the brute's knocking over his own people. And this is what I meant by the game being very stylized. You can see that there's these special combat things. The focus changes to be almost blurry when you look at certain angles, taking these women out who are trying to shoot me with their submachine guns. So he's like knocking over the cars of his own team here. So angry. And that actually is my partner over there that he's trying to beat up. Now, I don't know why he got bugged and is stuck there. Oop, there we go. Oh, and oh, wow. So yeah, he knocked me over. I just really want to show you kind of, there's a, much like I reviewed a game called Darksiders 2, or Darksiders recently, and there's these special finishing moves. You can do that in this game too. You can see that here. Get a grenade, stuff it in his mouth, knock him down, and pow. And there you go. Brute beatdown. Respect 100. $3,000. Yep, that's how I roll. Now these guys are trying to take me out too, and you can see I'm in third person, but you can actually do a zoom in like that, and it, like I was talking about, the focus kind of goes out. Your health bar and all that is in the bottom right, and your weapon that you're currently using. And of course, your homie is up there in the top right, the guy that's hanging out with you. And if you can have multiple homies, so I've got one right there, but you can also have more. So I just wanted to give you an idea of what the combat in this game is like. Very, very fun. It's just, here we go. Oh, you know, doing the headshots, blowing up cars, just causing incredible mayhem and chaos. You know, it's much like games like I've reviewed before, like Just Cause 2, where if you love blowing stuff up and love just destroying everything, then this is also a great game for that, because you're allowed to do all that sort of stuff. Of course, it's got the radio stations in the cars. You can see I stole this Infuego car, and you can change the radio stations to whatever you want, whatever kind of music suits your style. So that's a pretty good view of the combat, and here in a second I'm going to show you some other interesting things about the game, some different missions that you can go on. There's a wide variety of missions, and I'll show you one or two of them here in a second. Okay, so here's what's one of my favorite types of missions, and this is what I have is a shoulder rocket launcher, and I'm riding in a helicopter, and the goal is to protect your homies. That's the mission. And you can see you get all these bonuses for a gang vehicle, this explosive kill, multi-kill. And really the goal is just to blow up cars that are trying to destroy the car that belongs to your homies. So I'm just sitting up here in this helicopter shooting off my shoulder launcher and blowing stuff up. So that's all there is to it. It may sound simple, but it is a heck of a lot of fun, and you can see how crisp and clean the graphics are in this game. I know that some people have complained about the performance in this game on the PC. I haven't had any issues, and my specs are posted in the description. I'm not sure exactly why people have complained about performance issues, because I have not seen that. I've been able to record and run this at 1080p and not have an issue. I'm not sure if maybe they've patched those issues and fixed them since people reported them. I know that there's been a lot of patches, so I may have missed all that low performance stuff, but for me it runs great. So although you can see it's a high resolution game, high graphics, I'm running it in DirectX 11, which obviously will take a performance hit on computers that are really, or graphics cards that really aren't made for it. So, but there is an option to run it in DirectX 9, which I think is a nice touch for a console port. So keep an eye out for that. So I'll show you another type of mission that I really love as well in a second here. Okay, so you can see what type of mission this is. It's Tank Mayhem. We have to do $125,000 in property damage. I'm not even going to talk about it. I think it speaks for itself what the goal of this mission is to destroy everything. So I think what I'm going to do is wrap up this video. I think I've covered everything that I felt was important about the game. You know, I didn't really talk a lot about the story. There's a storyline, and there are quests that you must follow. There's, you know, you answer your cell phone, you meet up with your homies, they give you quests, and that story is great. I can't even believe I didn't even touch on it, but I think that that's a good thing in a way, because I really don't want to spoil the story for you. Suffice to say, you are part of the Saints Row gang. You have lost all your power, essentially, because of an enemy, and your goal is to reclaim your territory, reclaim your power in this city, and through that you do all these missions, all this mayhem, all sorts of things, kind of prove that you have what it takes to run the city. So, you know, you'll have to play the game for yourself to get the full gist of the story, but it's very well done, and I can't even believe I didn't even mention it until now. So, I'm going to leave you here. I think the next thing I'm going to show you is another just cool aspect of the game that I think, and that is picking up random weapons off the ground that you can barely carry, like a Gatling gun. I'm just going to show you shooting some people with it, because I think that's important. It's always important to have a huge gun. So let's just show you that here. So here we are with the Gatling gun. Oh, just taking everybody out with the Gatling gun. Because it's crazy. And not only do we kill the bad guys with it, but we also just shoot random civilians in their cars, because that's what it's all about, right? So, she's down. And that car is now mine. So I will leave you here. So thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe if you did.